What is 27 million euro in US dollars?
It's $31,194,227.89.
Ah! Today, bruvs, we got a very different video. A lot of you have asked me to watch Ronaldo. Not that Ronaldo. R9. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't heard of him. Exactly how good was Ronaldo Nazario? Let's get right into it. Welcome back, bros. Let's go.
Of all the legends I've ever made videos about, there has always been one that, even when compared to others, stands on a league of his own. A player that had it all, and who many consider to be the most complete footballer of all time.
What's the lore, bro? I don't want to make no joke before I know what this haircut is for. Why he got his... Why is his haircut like this? Somebody please tell me. The first person who tells me gets pinned.
Who many consider to be the most complete footballer of all time. Completely unstoppable, able to dance with the ball on his feet, and almost impossible to defend. No matter the stage, he proved time and time again that he was special. A player who, regardless of rules or era, would unquestionably dominate. Hey guys, what's up? It's Raymar, and today, after so many of you have been asking, we are, of course, finally gonna take a look at how good was Ronaldo the Fenomeno.
How good was R9? You know you're a good player.
Ronaldo was born to be the perfect footballer. From the very beginning, as early as he can remember, he would be groomed by the streets of Rio de Janeiro his entire childhood. Ronaldo was so passionate about football that his mother, Sonia, would recall his childhood days saying, "I always found him on the streets, playing with his friends when he should have been in school." When he was 11 years old, Ronaldo's parents would go through a divorce, which would lead Ronaldo to drop out of school completely. As you can imagine, for an 11-year-old, it's pretty tough to go through that. Football would be Ronaldo's go-to, his escape, and his saving grace no matter the circumstance. This dedication and passion for the game made him blessed by the football gods. The football loved him just as much as he loved the game. At the age of 12, Ronaldo would join a local indoor futsal team called Social Ramos and go on to score 166 goals on his first season, which included a time where he scored a mind-blowing 11 out of his team's 12 total.
Knowing how hard it is to score goals, he scored 160 goals in his first season. That's crazy. That was already kind of letting you know he was about to be something bad.
Goals in a single match. Like, just imagine how the players on the other team must have felt watching that. To be honest, I probably would have left after that 10th goal. Ronaldo would say that because he grew up playing on the streets, futsal was his first love when it came to the game. It's where he said he learned to be able to control the ball and move in the tightest of spaces, along with learning to have an incredibly soft touch. After playing in narrow alleyways with uneven paving his entire childhood, forcing him to master his control of the ball. The young Ronaldo would eventually be spotted by Brazilian legend Jairzinho, who, if you didn't know, led his country in scoring in the 1970 World Cup, even though he had Pelé as a teammate, which can only attest to his ability. When Jairzinho saw the young Ronaldo, he saw a player with incredible potential, a kid who...
That's crazy. You only need one person to see your potential, and it changes your life.
Just seemed different from all the others, so naturally, he knew that he had to have the young Ronaldo on his team. Jairzinho would quickly recognize the pure talent and skill that the young child prodigy Ronaldo had, and recommended that the 16-year-old should join his former club, Cruzeiro. However, Ronaldo had always wanted to play for Flamengo, a Brazilian team he supported ever since he was a child, and also a club where Brazilian legends like Zizinho once played. However, Flamengo never decided to wait and give Ronaldo a chance. Jairzinho would push Ronaldo to play for Cruzeiro anyways and speak to the club with a personal recommendation to eventually get him signed. This would finally take us to Ronaldo's senior career. At the incredibly young age of only 16, Ronaldo
I was about to say, did he go to high school? Like, bro, don't seem like he ever stepped foot in a school. He went to to the school of
make his
soccer.
professional debut for Cruzeiro. I mean, when I was 16, I was still playing Pokemon on my Nintendo DS. Could you just imagine being that young and playing against fully grown men? It would take Ronaldo only a few months to gain national attention when he would score 5 goals in a single game, shocking even established footballers from his own country. Former Brazilian captain and legend Cafu recalls seeing Ronaldo play for the first time, saying he was still a kid. It was in a game where he ended up scoring 5 goals. From that point on, he showed that he was truly a phenomenon. By this point, Flamengo realized just how big of a mistake they made by not giving Ronaldo a chance, because in his 2 seasons for Cruzeiro, Ronaldo would score an amazing 44 goals in 47 games, an incredible goal-scoring ratio of 0.94 goals a game at the age of 16, helping his club, which was by no means a real contender, win the Brazilian Cup.
What? This kid. What? This
Ronaldo,
kid took his team to the championship?
Was asked to join the Brazilian national team for their 1994 World Cup run. Brazil would go on to win that World Cup, in which Ronaldo did not play at all, or for that matter, wasn't really even needed. But the experience of his seniors and multiple legends on that team would help mentor him as much as they could, along with giving Ronaldo a taste at world victory. After the 1994 World Cup, Ronaldo would move to the Netherlands to play for PSV Eindhoven, after former Brazilian teammate and legend Romario, who won the 1994 World Player of the Year and 1994 World Cup Golden Boot and Golden Ball, would recommend Ronaldo to play for the club, as he himself had played for them. Ronaldo would continue his absolutely phenomenal play by scoring 35 goals in 36 appearances in his first season in the Eredivisie, an insane 0.97 goals per game ratio. In fact, after scoring a hat-trick in the UEFA Cup against Bayern Leverkusen, German World Cup winner Rudi Völler said, "Never in my life have I seen an 18-year-old play this way. Ronaldo was so skilled at dribbling the ball, it was like it was glued to his feet, with some even saying that it seemed like he was even faster dribbling the ball than running without it." His second season at PSV would see him suffer the first injury of his career, causing him to play nearly 50% less matches than last season. But nevertheless, before he went down, managed to score 19 goals in 21 games, still nearly a goal per game ratio, all at the age of 19. Before he would even turn 21, he broke the world record transfer fee of insane amount of money when Barcelona decided to go all out and grab him. He would be worth every single cent and more, as during his first season, Ronaldo scored an insane 47 goals in 49 appearances, winning him the La Liga Top Scorer award and the European Golden Boot. He would also help Barcelona win the UEFA Cup by scoring in the final itself, along with winning the Spanish Super Cup and Copa del Rey, all at 20 years old. Ronaldo was at his physical prime at Barcelona, being insanely fast and strong, along with having the perfect size for a forward to be able to body defenders trying to get rough. And often, many of his goals would include him running around the goalkeeper like he was playing with kids.
He juked the goalkeeper. That is the first time I've ever seen something like that happen. That is disgraceful. Out of all the football videos I've seen, I've never seen somebody juke the goalkeeper. First of all, I don't think I've seen the goalkeeper be so far out. Like, bro, he's not even in the frame no more. What was you doing?
Quentin Fortune would say, "As a kid, I wanted to be Pele. I bought all the books, all the videos, and I studied what I could to be like the best. I set off on that path. Then I met Ronaldo. Some players were technical, some were quick, some were strong, some were smart. Ronaldo was all of those, which was absolutely true. Players would even try to foul him, but his quick movement, size, and strength combined with his incredible dribbling brushed defenders off like nothing. Jose Mourinho, back when he worked for FC Barcelona when Ronaldo was playing there, would say, "I have no doubt Ronaldo is the greatest player I have ever seen in my life." And he would later confirm the same thing in an interview back in 2014. Ronaldo's first and only season with Barcelona saw him as the youngest player to ever win the FIFA World Player of the Year award. However, he would only place second in Ballon d'Or voting, losing to Matthias Samar of Borussia Dortmund by a single vote. That's right, by a single vote. By the end of his career, Ronaldo would have had 3 Ballon d'Ors if he had won that one,
Who
which
was
he
hating on him?
clearly deserved in
Who
my
was
opinion.
hating?
The very next season in
Someone was
1997, Ronaldo would once again break the world record transfer fee in back-to-back years, being the only player to ever do so. That's just how valuable he was. Inter Milan decided to go all out themselves and pay a 27 million euro fee to get him. While his goal-scoring numbers weren't as high, they were definitely great as he was transitioning. Get him. While his goal-scoring numbers weren't as high, they were 27 million euro.
27 million euro. What is 27 million euro in US dollars?
It's $31,194,227.89.
Bah! Bah! God dang.
Fee to get him. While his goal-scoring numbers weren't as high, they were definitely great as he was transitioning into the Serie A, which back then was considered the most heavily defensive league. Despite that, he still managed to score 34 goals in 47 matches, which is still an amazing .72 goals per game ratio. Ronaldo also learned to become a more complete forward, racking up assists and taking and scoring free kicks. In his first season with Inter Milan, he would be rightfully handed the FIFA World Player of the Year award again, as well as finally winning the Ballon d'Or, making him the youngest player to ever win the award at 20 years old, which, and I can't stress enough, should have been his second Ballon d'Or, as he definitely deserved the one in 1996 as well. In 1998, Ronaldo was already considered the undisputed greatest striker in the world. At just 22 years old, he was already appointed as the captain of his Inter Milan squad, and although we would start to see him suffering a few injuries at this time and missing some games, he would still score 15 goals in 28 appearances, winning the Serie A Player of the Year award. He was phenomenal in the 1998 World Cup as well, scoring 4 goals and getting 3 assists, winning him the Player of the Tournament award. Unfortunately, Ronaldo and Brazil would infamously break down in the final and lost to France. But regardless of that, nobody questioned Ronaldo's skills for even a moment. However, in 1999, Ronaldo, who seemed absolutely unstoppable, infamously began to suffer a string of severe injuries. Ronaldo would limp off the pitch during a Lazio match, only to discover that he suffered a ruptured tendon on his knee and required major surgery. He would be gone for half a year until he would play the first leg of a Coppa Italia match. As history would have it, it was way too early for Inter Milan to let him play, as after only 6 minutes, he collapsed on the floor and the world would learn that he suffered a complete rupture of his kneecap tendons. It was so impactful that opposing players like Diego Simeone—
I know that hurt. Is it like an ACL? Did he rupture his ACL, or is it just a completely different injury? Oh my god, I know that hurt.
Even went up to him to help the young star. Like I said, Ronaldo was never a player that people hated, so even for opposing players, it was just sad to see. Ronaldo would miss the entirety of the 2000-2001 season and about 80% of the 2001-2002 season. Many people thought that after all the surgeries and irreplaceable damage to his knees, Ronaldo would never be the same, that he would lose his touch, skill, and eye for goal. However, the 2002 World Cup would shock the entire world and forever establish his name as the phenomenon. Prior to the World Cup, Brazil was doing horrendous and, to many, were lucky to even qualify for the tournament. But with Ronaldo playing, it was a different story. He would lead his country to the 2002 World Cup trophy, scoring in every match except in the quarterfinal against England.
What is that haircut? I mean, that's what I'm telling y'all. Tell me the lore behind
to the 2002
haircuts.
World Cup trophy,
scoring in every match. We already talked about this one. The heart haircut. What's the lore? Is this like a team thing?
In the quarterfinal against England, ultimately ending with 8 goals and winning the tournament's Golden Boot. His comeback was talked about all over the world and would earn him the 2002 FIFA World Player of the Year award and the 2002 Ballon d'Or, which nobody questioned at all. And I just have to remind you guys again, should have been his 3rd Ballon d'Or. When Ronaldo signed with Real Madrid after the World Cup, his jersey sales would break all records on the very first day. Ronaldo would score in the final season match for Real Madrid, winning them the La Liga title, as well as scoring in the Intercontinental Cup and Spanish Super Cup finals, united in the Champions League quarterfinal, which caused the entirety of Old Trafford to stand and give. In the Champions League semi-final, he scored a goal and helped Real Madrid win 2-1 over Juventus on the first leg, but received an injury and wouldn't play during their second meeting, much to the demise of Real Madrid, as without him, they were eliminated from the competition. He would end his first season in Madrid scoring 30 goals and having 8 assists in 44 appearances, a .68 goals per game ratio. The next season, Ronaldo was visibly different. He seemed like he gained a lot of weight compared to his physical peak prior to the injuries that destroyed his knees. However, not too many people took too much attention to it at the time, as he was still doing what he did best, scoring beautiful goals. Real Madrid were actually on track to win a treble in Ronaldo's second season, but injuries again prevented him from reaching further accomplishments. He would miss the Copa del Rey final, which they would lose, and also get eliminated in the Champions League quarterfinal without him. This was also the season he scored that iconic 15-second goal. Ronaldo would still manage 31 goals and 13 assists in 48 matches.
You know what I'm noticing though? That's still a great ratio, but it's going down. I feel like this is the decline of the story. I'm feeling
a
it.
.65 goals per game ratio, which was still impressive considering all the stars Madrid had during their Galacticos era that individually could all find their own ways of getting the ball in the back of the net. Within the next few seasons at Real Madrid, Ronaldo's performances would gradually decrease over the years, scoring less and less while also noticeably losing pace and gaining a lot of weight. In fact, during his 2 final seasons
he did a reverse Zion Williams. Like, why was he gaining weight with this? He just
Madrid, he would only play a total of 40 matches, which is less than he played on his 3rd season alone. Although, even with this, it by no means meant that he performed poorly for Madrid at all, maintaining above a .50 goals per game ratio up until his final season, where he managed to make only 15 appearances. Unfortunately, Madrid fans could see the end of the road for Ronaldo at the Bernabeu. His final years at Real Madrid were plagued with injuries, fitness issues, and substantial weight gain. Although he still had the skill,
he started gaining weight. Like, one thing, I'm not saying that led to his first injury, but once he started gaining weight, and that weight, and you doing all that running, all that weight is literally landing on your knees. It's literally why, I'm not even going to get into it, but it's almost because I run. So I know, I can feel when my weight is kind of fluctuating, and my runs are a little harder. And so, did he tear his knee again? Was his knee always the problem, or was it other injuries?
Unfortunately, Ronaldo's body simply couldn't keep up with it. And with this, Ronaldo would depart Real Madrid in 2007 and head back to Italy to play for AC Milan. Despite the clear lack of fitness, Ronaldo still managed to score 7 goals in 14 matches, a testament to his pure skill alone. It's when he was in AC Milan that, on top of all the injuries he received during his career, he was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. And for anyone who doesn't know, it slows down a person's metabolism extremely, making it very easy to gain weight in a short amount of time and much more difficult for you to lose it. This condition was diagnosed in 2007, but, as many expect, could have been present with Ronaldo ever since 2003. After his World Cup winning year, Ronaldo's second season for AC Milan saw him playing less than 300 minutes, which for anyone who witnessed him in his prime was truly a saddening sight, as during a match he would once again suffer a horrifying knee injury that required him to get wheeled off directly to the hospital, where he wouldn't play football for several months once again. Ronaldo would finally go back to Brazil to play the last few years of his career. In 2009, if you were to look at Ronaldo and didn't know any better, you would think that he was already retired, as his weight gain was even more severe. Nonetheless, in his 3 seasons with Brazilian side Corinthians, he managed to help them win the Brazilian Cup in 2009. Although clearly a shadow of what he was before, Ronaldo was still loved by the people to no end. Every single game he scored in sent fans absolutely wild with happiness at just seeing their idols score once more. In fact, in his first season, he scored 8 points
that was just beautiful. Like, it was like he punk faked him, and it was like, all right, but then got him again. Like, look.
More. In fact, in his first season, he scored 8 goals in 9 matches, rallying the citizens to request the Brazilian national team to call him up just one more time for old time's sake. That's just how much the people of Brazil respected and loved him. They knew he wasn't there to score and dominate like he used to, but to just see him touch the ball and even score made the fans go absolutely wild. Watching him score some of the last goals in his career, you can't help but just smile, as you can feel just how special of a moment it is for not only himself, but his fans and peers as well. Ronaldo announced his retirement in 2011, saying that his hyperthyroidism had gotten the best of him, and the many severely crippling injuries he received throughout his career were just too much for his body to handle. To this day, Ronaldo remains one of the most iconic players ever, and to some, he was even the greatest. For me, I believe he was the most perfect and complete forward that has ever played. His ability to score, dribble, and finish on top of his strength and speed in his prime, at least to me, is on a class of its own. He wasn't lucky enough to win the Champions League because of crucial injuries and unfortunate times, but that doesn't take anything away from his career. Ronaldo would certainly be my main choice as the starting forward for my all-time 11, and I have no doubt in my mind that he certainly belongs there. If anything, Ronaldo's story only makes me appreciate players I loved watching even more.
Wow, like I didn't expect this story to end that way. And like I said, I'm a newborn footballer, so I don't really know who's retired. I haven't gained that history yet. So I would have thought he was still playing even after those injuries, but I searched it up. He was only 34 when he was retired. Those injuries and his hyperthyroid definitely played a part. But he was talented. I'm not gonna lie. And his story is kind of epic. I wish he was still playing. I'm sure he wished he was still playing as well too. Drop some more players that I haven't heard of, and let me know what you want to see. Appreciate you always. See you later. Peace.